You've just had an argument. Or maybe you didn't even argue. Maybe you just did something they didn't like. And then it happens. The wall goes up. The texts stop. The room goes cold. You're in the same house, but you might as well be on different planets. Most people think the silent treatment is just quiet time or someone needing space. But if we're being honest, it feels much heavier than that. It's one of the most sophisticated forms of emotional manipulation because it's designed to make you feel invisible until you're willing to do anything just to be seen again. I'm Lena, and today we are breaking that cycle. I'm going to walk you through the psychological reasons why this is happening, the specific technique to reclaim your dignity without saying a word, and the one mistake that actually extends the silence for weeks. We are going to get your power back. Before we talk about how to fix it, we have to understand what this actually does to the human brain. In psychology, this is often referred to as ostracism. Research has shown that being ignored activates the same part of the human brain as physical pain. So if you feel like your chest is tightening or you're physically sick when they ignore you, you aren't being dramatic. Your brain is literally processing an injury. Now, why do people do it? It usually falls into two categories. The first is emotional overload. Some people go silent because they lack the tools to handle conflict. They feel flooded and their brain shuts down to protect itself. This is a communication deficit, not a power play. The second category, however, is the control tactic. This is where silence is used as a punishment. It's a way to say that love and attention are conditional. They are waiting for you to crack, to apologize for things you didn't do, and to beg for their attention. The problem is that when you beg, you teach them that the silent treatment works. You are essentially training them to use it against you again. If you want to reclaim your power, you have to stop playing the game they've set up. The game usually follows a predictable script. They ignore you, you panic, and then you chase them. To break this, we start with the internal reset. You have to stop the mental autopsy. Stop replaying the last 48 hours in your head trying to find the exact moment you messed up. When you do this, you're letting them live rent-free in your mind. Their silence is a reflection of their inability to communicate, not your lack of worth. Next, you need to practice what I call the empty chair validation. You do not need them to acknowledge you in order to exist. I want you to try something counterintuitive. Enjoy your own company loudly. If they aren't talking to you, do not sit in the living room staring at your phone waiting for a notification. Go to the gym, call a friend, read that book you've been putting off. When you stop acting like a victim of their silence, the silence loses its teeth. You're sending a subconscious message that says your presence is a gift, but your absence does not break me. Eventually, the silence will need to be addressed. But how you start that conversation determines if you're reclaiming power or surrendering it. Whatever you do, do not send the thirsty texts. Avoid the, "Are you okay?" or "What did I do?" messages. Those are chasing behaviors. Instead, use a method focused on observation. You might say something like, "I've noticed you've been quiet lately. It seems like you're not ready to talk yet. I'm going to go do my own thing, but I'm here when you're ready to have a respectful conversation." This works for 3 reasons. First, you are naming the behavior. You aren't playing along with the "nothing is wrong" act. Second, you are setting a boundary by mentioning a respectful conversation. That implies the current silence isn't respectful. Third, you are walking away. You've left the door open, but you aren't standing in the hallway waiting for them to open it. If they respond with more silence, let them. You've stated your piece. Your job now is to stay in your power center. Do not double text. Do not check their social media status. If they want to be a ghost, let them be a ghost. You have a life to live. The reason the silent treatment keeps coming back is that most people don't set a boundary once the silence finally breaks. When things get back to normal, there is a huge temptation to just pretend it never happened because you're so relieved the tension is gone. But that is a mistake. You have to have a post-game analysis. Once things are calm, you need to say, "I'm glad we're talking again, but we need to address the last few days. When you shut down and refuse to speak to me, it feels like a punishment. I value our relationship, but I can't be in a dynamic where silence is used as a weapon. In the future, if you need space, just tell me you need an hour to cool down, and I will respect that. But indefinite silence doesn't work for me." Notice that you aren't calling them names or being aggressive. You are simply defining what you will and will not tolerate. Reclaiming power isn't about being meaner than they are. It's about being more solid than they are. You are establishing yourself as a person who cannot be manipulated by emotional withdrawal. I want to be very real with you for a moment. There is a difference between a partner who struggles with their words and a partner who uses silence as a form of emotional abuse. If this silence is paired with gaslighting, where they tell you you're imagining the problem, or if they use it to isolate you from friends and family, then this is a much deeper issue. Reclaiming your power might eventually mean reclaiming your entire life and walking away from the cycle altogether. You deserve a partner who is willing to grow with you, even when things are uncomfortable. The silent treatment only works if there is a victim on the other side who is willing to be ignored. When you choose to be a person who is whole and focused on your own well-being, regardless of someone else's mood, the trap ceases to function. You are essentially taking the remote control of your emotions back into your own hands. If you found value in this perspective today, please consider supporting the channel by liking the video. It helps this message reach others who might be sitting in a cold, silent room right now, feeling like they've done something wrong. I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever experienced the silent treatment? How did you handle it? Write the word "strong" in your comment to let me know you've reclaimed your center. Remember, communication is a skill, and you are not responsible for carrying the weight of a conversation that someone else refuses to have. Focus on your growth, stay grounded, and don't let anyone's silence tell you who you are. I'm Lena, and I'll see you in the next video.